Hi, I'm Tim Pollan, and this is Active Talks, where we dive into what makes Touchstone funds distinctively active. Statistically, when we look at industry research, we find that there's a small proportion of investors' portfolios that are actually purely active. On the other end of the spectrum, there's a small proportion of advisors and investors that are focused on purely passive portfolios. That means that the lion's share of portfolios are invested in some combination of active and passive. So when we think about that, it's important for us to recognize that if active strategies are going to complement passive strategies in most portfolios, then you want to have active strategies that are complementary, that are diversifying that passive index exposure. Crit, does Touchstone's market strategy and asset allocation guidance work differently or better for either active and/or passive? And what kind of considerations must investors think about when they're applying your guidance to active and/or passive management?
I think what we do with asset allocation is relevant for passive, relevant for active, or some combination of the two. We do use indexes in our allocation, and that's how our performance is measured. Recently, we've run into an issue that I think it helps explain how active would actually fit in better. Late last year, we went to an underweight tactically to a growth sector. And it's mainly because there's this huge concentration of just 5 names representing over 50% of that index. And the stock valuations of those went up considerably, such that we have tremendous amount of stock-specific risk. Well, with an index, the only way we can manage that stock-specific risk is to underweight. Whereas if we had an active manager, they could stock pick their way through that. So there is additional both risk and reward elements that can be brought in through active management that would fit very nicely within what we're doing from an asset allocation standpoint.
We know that indexing is solely based on company size. I'm only buying stocks, or I'm weighting them in portfolios based on how big the company is. So on the active side, I want to be focused on things beyond that, other characteristics like earning potential, valuation, company management. And for us, we want to see demonstrated success from active managers that have shown over time that they've delivered alpha for investors.